Following my train of thoughts on my previous videos where I talked about how to stop being stingy and how to overcome self-limitations, I want to share some tips on how to overcome the scarcity mindset. I believe these 3 topics are some way connected because in each of the videos I have touched the other topics some way, somehow. Hi, my name is Annie and this is Bossing with Annie. First, I'm going to start by defining what scarcity mindset is, in case you've not heard of the term before or you would need a reminder. So scarcity mindset, in the simplest explanation, is the fear of not having enough or, fear of never having what you would need. When a person is always too afraid that, I'm not going to get more than I have now, or if I do away with what I have now, I'm not going to get more. All I have now is all I will ever get, or all I can ever get. As the name implies, everything is scarce. There are no resources. So a person is always afraid that resources are limited. So there are some things that it can lead to. And like I mentioned in my video about how to stop being stingy, it can lead you to be stingy. So if you feel like resources are limited or you will not get back what you give, you definitely not want to give, okay? Or even sometimes the person can feel like they don't deserve more than what they have, or maybe when they get to a point where they should acquire more resources, they feel like it's too much for them, or it's not reality for them. They find it hard to place abundance as their reality. Secondly, people with that kind of mindset limit themselves a lot. That's why I'm connecting this video to my video about how to overcome self-limitation. People with scarcity mindset have the tendency to limit themselves, and they can be very closed-minded with the fear that they will lose something out of being open-minded. So maybe if you're too open-minded, or if you go out of your scope, you will lose out on resources and you will never get them back. So that kind of mindset is very limiting. So before we touch on how to overcome that mindset, I would like to talk about some things that can cause a person to have scarcity mindset. It's important to deal with the root cause, like know where the problem is coming from before you even tackle the problem. The first cause of scarcity mindset I'm going to talk about is being in a previous state of lack. So how a person grew up. Maybe a person grew up in a family or a situation where there was always a need and there was constant lack of resources, food, clothes, shelter, and everything. It could also be a previous state of lack as an adult. Maybe a person has struggled a lot as an adult before they got to a state of, having what they need. So now that they have what they need, they feel like, if they don't manage it well, or if they don't hold on to it, or if they don't do something, it's going to go away and they're going to go back to that state of lack. They might just be stuck on that era of their life and feel like, it's still happening. So I just want to say that a person's past experience can affect how they behave in the future if they're not careful about it. So for things like that, a person might have to unlearn, relearn, break down every mentality that they've had in the past. Sometimes it might even require some form of therapy, healing, and all that. Sometimes they don't even know what they need. They don't know where to allocate their resources. They don't allocate it to what they actually need because they feel like they don't need it, or everything will disappear if they get this thing. So they actually limit themselves. They hold on tight to their resources from themselves. And this can cause a lot of issues. A second cause of scarcity mindset could be what a person surrounds him or herself with. The kinds of people you roll with, the kinds of content you consume. So if a person is always surrounding themselves with people that are always complaining that, I don't have, or the economy is too bad, how am I able to afford this, how am I able to afford that, and the person has never interacted with people that live in abundance or people that don't have that kind of mindset, of course the person is going to think that there is limited resources. So it's very important that what you surround yourself with is in line with how you want to live and how you want to be thinking, because it's going to have a very big impact on you. And of course, the kinds of content you're also consuming. Are you consuming false news all the time? Are you consuming music about brokenness? Are you consuming content about brokenness? That's going to affect your mindset and how you react to situations. A third cause of scarcity mindset could be as a result of being closed-minded. So when a person is not open to new ideas or new ways of doing things, you're not willing to explore, it's going to affect how you approach situations, how you handle your resources. Because sometimes you can feel that if you delve into something else, it's going to eat all your resources and it's never going to come again. People that end up becoming wealthy and living in abundance, they take risks. They don't just hold on to their resources tight. If you don't spread it out, if you don't put it out, nothing is going to return. You're always going to have what you have, and what you have is going to finish someday. It's very important to think of ways that what you have now can generate more for you. Another cause of scarcity mindset is focusing too much on what you don't have. It's when you are too fixated on, oh, I don't have this thing, and you don't want to think of a possibility of it ever being yours, or perhaps you think that it can be yours, but you don't see how you can get more. It's very crucial to understand that at some point you did not have something, but somehow you have it now. So when you're too fixated on what you don't have, you will never be able to see how you can get more or how you can get to the point that you want to be, because you are not even looking at where you want to be. A fifth cause of scarcity mindset is worrying too much about the future. When a person is too scared about negative outcomes in the future, the person is going to have scarcity mindset. The person is never going to make moves like they're expecting something in abundance. You're not going to invest in ventures because you feel like something is going to happen to your money. So it just limits a person a whole lot. The last cause of scarcity mindset I'm going to talk about is lack of planning. No financial or resource allocation plan. So when it comes to resources, there should be a level of predictability. When you can't predict where your resource is coming from or where it's going to, of course, the person is going to feel uncertain about everything and then end up limiting themselves. If you don't put anything to work, definitely you will be scared about nothing coming back to you. So when there is no plan on how to get more or how to acquire resources, a person is always going to be scared that nothing is ever going to be enough or a person is going to have. So planning is quite important. Now let's move to what we can do to tackle the scarcity mindset. Number one, understand that no condition is permanent. The fact that you or any person has lived in a situation of lack does not mean that that is all that the person deserves, or that is all that the person's life is about, or that is the trajectory that the person's life is supposed to follow. If you are in a situation of lack before, you can definitely be a wealthy person tomorrow. Okay? So living in the past will not help. Holding on to the fact that, you might run out of resources will not help. So do not let your past situation or even your current situation define you or make you feel like this is all you ever have or this is all you will ever be, because you can be more. Okay? A second solution is to try and be more open-minded. So we need to understand that it's possible to acquire and live in abundance. If you don't, you just may never get around finding how to acquire and live in abundance. Be open-minded to receiving. Be open-minded to things changing for you. Be open-minded to opportunities. If a person is being closed-minded, the person is going to limit him or herself from seeing opportunities for growth. And again, the truth is, people who take risks cannot operate with scarcity mindset. It's not possible. A third solution is to think of the times that you have lost and you have gained. Again, this follows my train of thoughts on no condition is permanent. So if you have lost before and you gained later on, you did not stay in the same circumstance. Something changed for you, right? So why can't it happen again? So if you're still living in a state of lack or in the mentality of continued lack, please, I would like to encourage you that you have probably been in that state before, or you have not, or you've seen people that have been in that state and they've come out of it. So there is no reason why things cannot change for you. It's not the same way that you were before that you are now. It's not the same thing that you owned before that you own now. So please, please, please let go of that state or that feeling of lack. Solution 4 is gratitude. At every point, you need to be thankful for what you have and not focus on what you do not have. We have to learn to erase the feeling of dissatisfaction at every point. So at any point you feel like, oh, I don't have this, think about what you have. Be grateful for that. A grateful heart is one that is open to receiving more. So an ungrateful person is always going to focus on what they don't have. Oh, why don't I have this? Why does this person have this and I don't? Why is this what I need? Oh, why am I still using this phone? I need a more advanced version of it. Thoughts like that can just distract you from what's more important. Think about what you have now, and that's most likely the key to acquiring what you don't have. We need to practice gratitude more. If we are going to grow in our mindset, if we are going to grow in the way that we think, if we are going to be more positive about life, we need to embrace the attitude of gratitude. Number 5 is financial planning. How do you overcome scarcity mindset if there is no financial plan? With financial planning, you most likely know the outcome of your resources, where you are putting your money, what you're doing, how you're saving. You know the outcome, you know what you have, right? You know that if you've saved a lot, you most likely will not run out. So there's no reason to be afraid of not having. When you save or you invest, there's a guarantee that something is multiplying for you, right? And it's not just staying stagnant or nothing is going to change or this is all you ever have. No, you know that you put your money to work, so it's going to work, right? Now, my last solution and my last way of overcoming the scarcity mindset is to practice affirmation and intentional living. I use affirmations a lot, so you can try to make up affirmations that are particular to your situation. Recite them as often as you can until it becomes a part of you. There is abundance available to me and I receive it. Another one is, I do not operate with the scarcity mindset. Then another is, more comes back as I give. So when you keep repeating these things to yourself, it will start changing how you think, how you approach situations, because that's the truth, that's the reality. You just have to believe that more will come back as you give, because that's just how it works. So the more you give, the more you're open to receiving. So you just have to be more open-minded. So that's all 6 I'm going to be sharing. I really hope that you found this video meaningful. If I think of more, I would include them in the description box below, so you can look at that maybe. And if you also have some solutions to overcoming the scarcity mindset, you can feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll be looking at them and other people will be learning from them as well. Maybe you've been in that situation and somehow you've overcome that mindset or that mentality. Please leave that in the comments, and if you have a story to share, leave that in the comment as well. If you found this useful, please don't forget to share this video and subscribe to this channel for more. This is Bossing with Annie, and I hope to see you in my next video. Please, if you've not watched the previous videos I talked about, I'll leave them at the end screen of this video and in the description box. How to stop being stingy, how to overcome self-limitation. Please watch those videos, they're very impactful. Yeah, till next time, keep bossing. Bye.